I'm Cheryl, the artist behind Art by Terracotta, and this is the continuation of the video of how I set up Notion for myself as an artist and a YouTuber. This entire database focuses on the personal, art, business, YouTube, and educational aspects of my life. But as an artist and a new YouTuber, the emphasis is on art and YouTube forums. So under personal, I have 3 small databases: personal, to do, medical, and finances. Medical and finances are very much in the skeletal form. But my personal to-do list is 6 tasks filtered from the master list of 35, as I explained in part 1 of this video. I've organized this to-do list in 2 different ways. One way is a Kanban board view, which has the advantage of visually organizing my idea stages, in progress, and complete. And while I do like this, I actually prefer the table format. And so I marked my table format with a double asterisk, just to remind myself of my preference. With the table view, I can get a bird's eye view with the content that I really would like to focus on. And so what do I have here? I have a task, priority, status, tags, type, and summer. This is what I would hope to do in the summer. And I want to explain this tag here. When you go to sort, and by ordering the sorts, I have 4 sorts on this table, I can prioritize my summer accomplishment list. And as I complete a task, the checked boxes will collect at the bottom of the to-do list. The next to-do list is kind of my dream category. It's writing books. I have no definite time of writing, although I have outlined 1 book. And this leads us to the last list, which has to do with building furniture. I really want to have a perfect desk. And what I need to do is organize pictures of all of the desks that I have collected, which features I like and which ones I don't. So this is really my dream list for my ideal desk. Desks that I could build and complementary furniture. So back in homepage, we'll go to art and YouTube again are my favorite places. They are the reasons for building this database. And this is my to-do list, and the elephant eye is actually a freehand that I created in the Pigment app, which I kind of like. The Pigment app and the elephant eye. So here's my art to-do list. Of course, this is a place of joy. Unfortunately, I have not completed any tasks yet. So if you look in my board view, it obviously shows nothing completed. So at this point, I am not preferring the board view. I do have a list view also, and this is for easily scanning information. But my preferred view is with priority. And with priority, because I have made summer as a number 1 task, if you go to the sort, it says that summer is my controlling factor. If I click on a task, it will go to the bottom. Priority and then status is second. So this is actually the really well organized to-do list, so I can visualize tasks as I do them. And then I have this fantastic list of materials to explore. And one of the reasons for starting this YouTube channel is to explore acrylics. I have done watercolor calligraphy, Asian and Eastern calligraphy, scroll sawing, I've done wood block carving. Now I'm going to be exploring acrylics. So 2 months ago I got inspired, and now I am following several artists: Angela Anderson, Lisa Lacry, Chuck Black, and Clive 5 Art, to learn acrylic painting. So what have I learned from these 5 people especially is materials. I hear them talk about Frederick's board and the Frederick Knickerbocker canvas roll and how to use it, and the Krylon crystal clear and PVA glue and workable fixative sprays, and there are many different brands. And so these are the brand names and products that are possibilities or that have been mentioned by these individuals. Sometimes these individuals have talked about brand preference, which I find very interesting, and so I'm going to be exploring this a little bit myself. So I did take some notes about why these people preferred it, or maybe I did some research notes on my own. Then I have organized this content by tag. So I want all of the canvases together, all the fixatives, mediums set up in the palettes together. And then of course after that it would be alphabetical. Right here, this is the picture file that I have. So let's go to my gallery view. And I am not really keen on the gallery view, or maybe I have to fix the pictures a little bit, make them look better. Ooh, there we go. Haha. This is nice for looking at materials, but it's kind of redundant because I'm learning a lot of mediums, and so it's not a view that really gives me joy at the moment. I do have a board view, and this I really like. I'm going to actually give that, ooh. So I gave that a double asterisk because I really like both the table and the board view. And what is it? I have given the names, the material that I'm using, and this brief feedback of what this is about. And let us, ooh. So basically this is how I entered my data. Frederick's Knickerbocker canvas roll, the product, a picture, acrylic, watercolor, and oil can be used for all of those, and just a very light explanation. Of course, I can put a longer explanation here or below, and then that would not appear in the board. It would be like personal information for this, but I don't really need to do more. This is sufficient information for me to actually now use the product. It's canvas and Chuck Black. Thank you very much for describing that canvas. So how I've organized the board view is under materials. So all the canvas, all the fixatives, all the mediums, setup, and the palette. And this is really visually appealing for me. I really could feel like I could gain a lot of information just by glancing at this. So I think I will leave that view for now. And the last area is my Pigment portfolio. These pictures are just a sample of what I've colored on the Pigment app, which I highly recommend. This is an okay view. I have the name of my artwork, whether it's freehand or coloring. I have the date and the little bitty thumbnail of the picture itself. So if I would go to the table view, this is not a view I like, but the potential for this one is maybe in the future I would give information about where the inspiration of the picture came from, or if I were going to post it on my page or in social media somewhere, what kind of metadata would I create, such as keywords and description. But this is really nice information, which I'm not using for the Pigment portfolio, but I could use for future portfolios. Now, this is my preferred view. Of course, I can change the picture sizes and make it large. And these are just a few of my pictures. What I've included in this page is just the picture itself, the name of the artwork that I gave later to it, and the date that it was created. As for importing a new picture, that's really quite simple. I can just go over here to new, meaning new picture, new template. Can upload my picture, which is 5 megabyte pixel maximum right now. Created on the 17th, and that is all the information I'm currently including in this, but I could include a lot more, as I said earlier. And this is programmed to upload with the latest creation up here in the upper left hand corner. Now back to the main page and the business forum. And while it's not a major player in how I use my time, it is in some ways related to both art and YouTube and is worth a mention. However, this category isn't going to affect me for a long time, as I've just started YouTube with only 5 videos published. My cover art for this is the acrylic paint that is here in Korea. This is a really Alpha Paint soft body acrylic. My favorite colors are copper and pearl orange. They are delicious colors. I can get gold in here and maybe Liquitex. I'm paying $3 a tube. Golden is about $9 or more a tube. No thank you, I'm very happy with it. The 2 databases I just showed are merely space holders right now, but it's always nice to visualize the possibilities. Now let's go to the second think tank of this Notion organization, and that is YouTube. And this is a huge area. I have video ideas, YouTube video uploads that I've already done, open source music that I can link in conveniently to my videos. I have clips that I can take off the internet that explains to me how to set up YouTube, maybe with thumbnails. And then this is a space holder where I can organize monetized companies way down the road. My cover art is digital painting that I did on the Pigment app, and it was for a bee challenge. Like almost all of my previous to-do lists, again, this one places emphasis on what I can accomplish this summer. Summer priority status and tasks, because these tasks, I wanted them to be alphabetized. Acrylics, Asian painting, digital art, live and watercolor. Filters are only with YouTube, and that is pretty much it. And next on the agenda is amazing. And for this YouTube video upload, I want to give a very special thanks to Thomas Frank. He is a big-time YouTuber, and he discussed how he uses Notion for A-roll and B-roll, especially B-roll. And this is how he organized it. In some areas, I have tweaked it, but the shell is obviously from Thomas Frank. Here I have 5 thumbnails of videos I've already published, and the videos are organized in inverted order with the most recent first. Whenever I create a new video, I just click on the new template button and input the information, and it's that template that saves me tons of time. Part 2 of last week's, and the order is, I think it's number 6. Thumbnail to be announced. The date, I have no idea yet when I'm doing that. The genre is tech because it's about Notion. Published, it is in process right now. Length, I don't know. Music, I don't know if I'll have any. Keywords, I'll decide this later. Description, this is for marketing purposes. Research, have I done research, like learning new knowledge that I want to share in my YouTube creation? Files, any kind of attachments I can have. A script, am I preparing a script for this? Sponsor, no. Monetize, no, and that's why they're at the end. And everything below here, it's very specific to how I will be developing this video and responding afterwards. And I want to say this list is definitely from Thomas Frank with tweaks. Of course, because I don't have a video editor, I don't need to have a checklist saying the editor is doing it or I'm doing it, but it's kind of a reminder that I do need to do things. If sponsored disable monetization, this is something I would never think about when I get monetized. So I thought I would just include that in this template. So what I have here, I have include source links and include timestamps. I think both of these are really important. For some reason, the colors didn't reproduce on my template, and I'm needing those colors to highlight tasks that I could easily forget. Little reminder. Okay, so this is my template, and let's see what is created. Thumbnail I don't have, publishing date, length I don't have, files I don't have, but what else do I have? Okay, so this I just don't have yet. And now let's look at this open source music. Let's say I do want to include music in this. So I can go down and I can click, and I'm going to bring up a database that is below. I will show you in a minute. So let's say the road home is music that I would like to include here, and I say, yeah, that's great. And there it is. I can go there. And here is the road home. Here's the creator. Music file, I'll explain that in a minute. Genre, I have some genre. This is the notes. If I use this music, I will put this on the last page. The YouTube endnotes, so that people can visualize that someone kindly allowed me to use their open source music, and all I have to do is reference them, and I will so happily do that. The length of this is almost 4 minutes, so if my video is, for example, 7 minutes, I could replay part, or I can get a second video. So let's go to the music database now. Now here's my open source music database, and you're probably wondering why I have this, because it's on the YouTube site. Well, the YouTube site is huge, and it takes me forever to go there. Not to go there, but to go through the music and find one that matches the mood that I have created in a particular painting. So I spend a bit of time going through the music and downloading the videos and labeling them with the genre. Sometimes I change the genre from what they had online. And of course I have the length, that's really important for me, and then the instructions of how I'm going to use it. The band, the URL so I can go back, and the reference date. And you can see that July 7, I did this busy work of downloading a bunch of this music for my future reference. Here I have some notes, which are little indicators of how I can use some particularly moving music. One that's really interesting to me is the Chinese music. It has bing, bing, I don't know. But because I'm in Korea and I might have Korean paintings, I could include some Chinese music. I didn't hear any Korean music. And most people don't distinguish between Chinese, Japanese, and Korean music, although I clearly do. And so I would, for the sake of mood, maybe attach some Chinese music. Much to the despair of my Korean friends and other Koreans, I am so sorry, but this is it's a stylistic technique. And here is the video that I've tagged in. So have I used this music before? Yes, I'm now using it for Notion for Artists and YouTubers, Part 2. I have used 3 other pieces of music in the past, and you can see that I have here an icon. This icon represents after I built the template, and these were from before I built the template. And so these don't follow the same kind of layout. And a comment about building the template. When you build your template, if you make a change, you add a file here above this line or in one of these database columns, then your template will be different and you'll have to resave your template. The new file will not be saved unless you save it as a new template. And that's just something to be aware of. Okay, let's go to the one I just skipped and the video ideas. And this is like a creator space. I can look at this and I say, okay, so I'm making Notion for Artists, kind of what I'm doing now. How to make a subscribe button with Procreate, and some painting ideas I have. This is strictly related to video. These 3 are obviously video and painting, so I don't want to put video too. It seems redundant. It's always nice to put why I got inspired. So I just say this painting needs to be textured and earthy, and this I was requested to make blue wolf and a mint green, some kind of snake bug kind of picture, and so I can do this for my friends' daughters, which is kind of fun. And then I have another web clipper space for when I see videos particularly for improving my video making, like LumaFusion tips. So I can pop them here and I'll be sure to reference them later. And below that is if when I ever get monetized, I can have my companies that are monetized with their details. This last forum is also a major force in my life, but I will only show a quick organization. On my content page for the Educator to-do list, I have the Lantern of Knowledge, and then below that I've organized my to-do list, most of which I'd like to accomplish by the end of this summer, and I have already done 50%. Then below that I have my list of classes, which apparently will be taught again online this semester, and public speaking online. Imagine that one. But it's actually really possible with the change in audience and delivery. Notion is really helping me organize my art and my YouTube. And if you gained ideas about how you can organize yours, please give me a like. And also I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and help an aspiring artist.